linear regression. So that means the linear relationship between the dependent variable and the independent variable. And logistic regression, from the name, you may think it's a regression technique, but actually it's a classification technique. So the difference is the outcome variables or the dependent variables. So in linear regression, our dependent variable is a numerical, right? Like age, salary, investment, and integer price. And in logistic regression, our outcome variable is categorical. So we may have binary outcome like gender, male, female, or we may have binary outcome like a high risk or low risk driver. So logistic regression can be used and to analyze the relationship between the categorical variable, which our dependent variable, and the other independent variable. So on independent variable side can be numerical or categorical. Right? But if you have outcome variable or dependent variable as a binary or categorical, and then you have to use a logistic regression. And if you have outcome variable as a numerical, and you can use a linear regression. So keep in mind, even they both have regression in its term, so it's a totally different technique. So we are going to use the logistic regression to analyze a telehouse data set. Right? So to show the application of using logistic regression in public health. So this data set is about people with chronic disease and how they use telehealth. So in the data set, you will see there's an outcome variable telehealth experience. So that means whether the patient has or no telehealth experience during a specific period of time. And the independent variable can be some demographic information about the patient, like age, gender, and can be whether the patient have the healthcare support or access, like insurance type, and so on. And also the geospatial characters, for example, whether the patient live in an urban or rural area. So those we analyze data and want to see what's the impact of those variables on whether a patient will use or not use telehealth. Right? So I share a video and introduce the social determinants of health. So you can view the video and get some understanding of the telehealth or healthcare areas. And for the data set, it's posted on Canvas. And for submission, you probably already received my announcement and saying, moving forward, I will be really pay attention to your writing style and the format. So as you know, so one objective of this course is not only introduce some technique, but also I want to gradually build up your communication skills and how appropriate format or template to write an analysis report can be the first step. Right? So in the past, I may just excuse you from, not properly format your figure table, not giving, elaborative discussion of the results. But moving forward, I want you to follow your writing style, utilize the template you already get familiar with, and then it's kind of a little bit of, formality, but it's necessary. Right? For any report, you really need to be clear and what kind of data you use, what's the limitation of the data, what's the attributes of data, and give some background information, the method you apply, and then, interpret results, not only discussion, but also with the figure and tables. Right? And over time, you need to know, so with the figure table, this is some required or expected format you need to use. So for example, you shouldn't have, I have a lot, I would say like running figures. So some students put like 10 figures one by one and occupy a large space. And then this at the bottom of the 10 figures, and there's only one paragraph and talk about. And then your audience will need to reference, go back and say, oh, which figure you are talking about? And go back, figure, oh, it's figure 2. So some students even not give the title or number to the figures. And then they will just try to connect dots. So when you talk about the energy percentage of gas, oh, let me go to among the 10 figures and look like this is talking about the gas, right? So that's not the proper way you communicate the message. So you also need to pay attention to the format of your figure and the table and make sure it's really easy for your audience to reference the figure and the table. And also, the format should be consistent. So you use one format for one figure, and moving forward, others should follow the same format. So oftentimes I see students use a different type of format figures. So this figure has different size and font of the space, and then another one is totally different. So that's also not good practice. Right? So you may feel it's not really necessary. You want to say, oh, we are learning linear regression. So I know p-value, R-square, I know coefficient. So I just interpret. And so your understanding of the knowledge, but communicate, and gradually later you'll figure out they will expect, so certain workspace, and especially if you deliver some report to your clients, and you will figure out your manager, your supervisor can be really picky. They will even pay attention to the comma. So whether you use comma, space, or period, if not, they will send the report back because they don't want to. So, that's kind of, compromise the quality of your report and, showing to your audience. So that's why I will try to enforce, and you see also include a rubric. So, the format can be one part of the grading. And if you not properly format table figure, I will deduct, points. Okay. So you can see